It is early morning, and an 8-year-old girl is already methodically executing a daily routine. She pours cereal, checks the clock, packs 2 lunches, and stands on a chair, carefully helping her younger sibling zip up a winter coat. Notice the complete absence of adults in this environment. There are no parents guiding the morning schedule, and no older voices rushing them out. Nobody sat this child down and formally asked her to take on this level of household management. She does it out of absolute necessity. When life at home feels unpredictable, children will quietly step into vacant adult roles. Making breakfast and managing a sibling becomes their way of creating a reliable baseline of stability. Fast forward to second period. That same young girl is sitting in a bright, bustling classroom, assigned to work on a group poster project with her peers. Within seconds, she takes complete control. She organizes the markers, dictates the layout, corrects her classmates' spelling, and ultimately does the majority of the actual drawing herself. Observing adults and educators often look at this hyper-focused, organized behavior and assume they are seeing a model student displaying exceptional maturity for her age. But closely watch her hidden physical cues. Her classmates sit casually and joke with one another, while her shoulders remain rigidly tense. Her eyes constantly scan the room, tracking the environment. This relentless drive to manage the project represents a deep-seated environmental adaptation, a pattern that demands our closer examination. To understand her actions, we have to look at the internal psychology of a child, reacting to a home environment where adult emotional stability is entirely uncertain. Children in chaotic environments develop responsibility as a survival strategy to mitigate chronic stress. Unable to force adults to be predictable, they exert rigid control over their immediate routines to stop the chaos from reaching them. Over time, long-term cognitive conditioning takes place. The physical act of organizing and managing everything in their orbit becomes inextricably linked to the feeling of being safe. High performance, in this context, serves as a desperate hidden mechanism designed to keep her world from falling apart. Back in the classroom, the educational system inadvertently rewards this specific trauma response. A trauma response is an instinctual behavioral reaction to a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Because these students are highly organized and never disrupt lessons, they rarely require correction from teachers. As a result, they slip entirely through the cracks of available support systems. Continually praising this hyper-independence is dangerous. It signals to the child that their value is strictly tied to their relentless utility to others. This introduces the academic framework for examining these long-term reverberations, behavioral echoes. The goal is understanding behavior today to effectively aid in shaping tomorrow's potential. When we misdiagnose a survival strategy as a positive personality trait, we guarantee that the child will carry an invisible, exhausting burden straight into their future. Fast forward to a late-night dining room years later. A young man sits surrounded by stacks of paper bills and a constant flood of digital demands from his family. When his partner gently offers to help with the workload, he delivers a polite but firm rejection. He clings to the familiar facade, insisting he is fine and can handle it all himself. Look at his physical tension. Those tight shoulders are the exact same posture we saw in that young girl. The toll has only grown heavier. The exact defensive strength that successfully protected him in childhood has morphed into a crushing, isolating weight in adulthood. Let's return to the present-day classroom. An older teacher is quietly observing the young girl as she dictates every aspect of the group poster project. The educator identifies the underlying adaptation at play, looking beyond the simple label of a good student. He steps in and intervenes. Gently halting her total control over the assignment, he actively redistributes the project roles among the other students at the table. Her initial hesitation slowly gives way to physical relief. For the first time, she realizes she is allowed to simply participate without having to manage everyone else. By identifying these behavioral echoes early, adults can relieve children of the burden of being load-bearing walls. We prove to them that the world will not collapse if they share the weight.